In this Minecraft video, we are going to survive 200 days in Minecraft. But here is the twist. Once the two of us try to survive, two of our friends are going to spend the entire time trying to hunt us down and kill us. If we both survive to day 200, we win. If either one of us die for any reason, they win. In case it's not obvious, this is the second part to the first 100 days uploaded 2 weeks ago. And if you want to watch that video before watching this one, I will put a link at the top of the description. And finally, before we begin, that 100k mark is so close, so if you want to help me reach that and you're part of the giant 90% of people not subscribed, please consider doing so. These videos take a lot of work to do and I'd really appreciate all the help that I can get. And secondly, if you want the 2v3 or rematch of this, then you get this video to 5,000 likes and we'll consider doing it again. Alright, please enjoy. So we picked things back up on day 101. First things we did was sat down the pack ultimate. That's right, that joke's coming back, and we headed out looking for a village. We had some pretty decent enchanted gear, but if we could get the likes of mending and some good enchanted books, then yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And by day 103, we was able to find a village, and admittedly, it wasn't the best village in the world. There was only 2 or 3 villages actually there, but it was going to be enough for what we wanted to do. The ultimate goal was to get mending, and so we spent the entire time trying to get a mending trade. It luckily didn't take us too long to do that, and then we spent the next 6 days getting all the mending books we needed. Many a tree was cut, many a trade was made, but it was by day 110 where we had got the 12th mending book that we needed. And by day 111, we had applied all the mending to our gear, our tools, everything we really needed it to, and now all we have to do is go get some levels and we can put this armor to the max durability. We headed to the Nether and got there by day 112 where we started healing up our armor with the quartz that was there, and it only took us until day 114 where we got our full durability and everything we wanted to, and it was now time to look for a warped forest. One thing we always want to do in Minecraft Manhunts is to get our gear as good as possible for the final fight, which is usually around the day 190 mark. And the best way to go about that is by getting a lot of levels. And what's the best way of doing that? You know, it's the Ender Dragon. And so finding the warped forest, we started hunting Endermen to get enough Ender pearls to get enough Eyes of Ender to get to the end. Say that 3 times fast. We actually ended up with a total of 18 ender pearls by day 116, and it was time for us to head back and set up shop. We found a nice base area to set up our gear by day 118. The only thing we had to do was go and get the wolves from where I originally sat them down, and we'd be good to go, and so we headed straight there. It took us a day to get there, and it took us a day to get back. It was day 120 when we returned home, and I headed out looking for some meat. The simple plan was, let's breed the pack ultimate to the max amount of dogs we could possibly have. I mean, it's not gonna hurt to have 1,000,000 dogs. I mean, it didn't hurt last time. Well, at least not us. And I began the breeding on day 124. I mean, it was plenty done. On day 125, thanks to all the levels that we had saved up, we decided to upgrade our gear a bit. It wasn't exactly the top of the top, but it was going to be able to get us through the next fight. I mean, by the time we do get to that final fight, we're gonna have incredibly good gear. But for now, I'm not gonna complain about the gear that we do have. Having a flame power 5 infinity bow is definitely going to do some damage. We're not even going to talk about the sword or the axe. I actually was thinking, do I want to get a diamond sword? But it just felt like a lot of effort for the very little damage output I was probably going to get in the end. Once that was done by day 126, we began to brew some potions, but we actually ran out of nether wart, and so it was back to the nether we go. I only went alone. Austin decided to go and get a bit more gold for some golden apples, and so I had to find the fortress pretty much by myself. I know we kind of made it a rule to not split up during this time, but you know what? We'll just risk it for the biscuit and head separate. One nether trip later, and by day 129, I was able to get the nether wart from a chest. I searched the entirety of this fortress. It did not have a nether wart patch, so I'm so grateful that I got the 6 in these chests. And once I returned home and had all the potions done, we was at the end of day 131. And now that we had the potions brewed, the dogs bred, and the armor built, it's time for us to head to the end itself. Following the Eyes of Ender, it was day 134 where we got to the stronghold and entered it. Well, at least we tried to. Digging down with a bunch of dogs was almost impossible. However, it wasn't too long until we found the end portal, and because of all the Eyes of Ender we had, it was quite easy to get into the end and start the End Dragon fight. The Ender Dragon fight started on day 1 1-3-3, and to be honest with you, it didn't take us any time at all to destroy the crystals. In fact, this was just set to be another standard Ender Dragon fight. That is until, well, let's just say we didn't just have to worry about the Ender Dragon anymore. The Hunters was hunting us down, and we just entered the end portal by the time that they got to us. If we had got into the end slightly quicker, they wouldn't have been able to track us, but because they had our last known location, they was able to find the stronghold themselves and get into the end. We had now a three-way fight between ourselves, the Hunters, and the Ender Dragon. Also, apparently the Ender Dragon hide a bunch of Endermen because these were super annoying. I attracted apparently every single one of them possible, and so did Marvin apparently. This was a fun scuffle. The big advantage I did have was my fire aspect sword. Since they neglected the chance to get potions, it was going to be really useful for us to actually use the sword itself. Getting hit by my hits, the fire aspect, and a bunch of Endermen was going to be a huge advantage. I was constantly targeting Marvin for the simple reason that I was fairly confident that Austin could take Chris one-on-one. So as long as I could deal with Marvin and take him out, we would be good to go. However, in a weird turn of events, a sort of circle kind of motion, Chris targeted me. So now Austin's trying to fight Chris, who's trying to fight me, who's trying to fight Marvin, who's trying to fight Austin, and I'll let you figure that one out. And in a weird switch up, Austin was able to break Marvin's helmet, and Austin was able to take Marvin down himself, which left Chris by himself, which left it as 2v1 versus all these Endermen. My god! We did still feel pretty confident though. Chris's last attempt to survive was to pillar up the pillar, and I tried and failed to ender pull up there twice. However, on the first time, it kind of worked, which, yeah, let's not talk about it. I tried to pillar up to the pillar that was next to Chris's, but it turned out to be unnecessary simply because Austin was able to take out Chris himself. With both Hunters down, we just had to deal with the Ender Dragon itself, and I mean, come on. You know how many times I've killed the Ender Dragon? I've done it with much less gear than full diamond, and so 66 levels later, let's return home. We was able to return home by day 136, where we used all the levels that we had to max out the gear that we had. I felt so much more confident having all this great gear. It was max out everything. Protection 4 on all my armor, sharpness 5 axe, sharpness 5 sword, unbreaking on all my armor. Everything was good to go. The only way I felt I was going to die now is if some miracle happened. And even if that was the case, I'm fairly confident that Austin would have my back. I don't think we have to worry about dying. I genuinely don't. To be safe, let's gear up a bit more. Once we had all the gear built by day 138, we headed back into the caving. I just wanted to get a bit more gold for some golden apples. It was a lot of caving until day 143 where we had enough golden apples. And being the little pranks that I had, I kind of stole the most of them. I just wanted a stack of golden apples. Suck it, Austin. Also, don't tell Austin as well, but on day 140, I did find myself an Uber apple. So I know I have more golden apples and also an Uber apple, but, you know, I'm cooler than Austin. Austin might be hotter, like incredibly hot, like almost as hot as Marvin, but not really that hot, but I'm cooler. Should probably cut that out. Also, I think this is really funny, but whilst we were cooking on day 144, I'm not kidding when I say we spent a good 10 minutes just talking about chowder. Not the food, the TV show. Like, here, listen. It's gonna sound like a bit of a random question, but what was the name of the blue guy from Chowder?
Wait, the one that goes Rada Rada?
No, that's Schnitzel.
No, that's Schnitzel, yeah.
The dad guy, not
the
like
old man?
Yeah, the blue mustache man.
Yeah. I don't remember what his name was. He had a nice nose.
Hang on, let me Google it. Mung Dal?
Among Us?
No, Mung. What?
Among.
Do you know in season 1 he had a different character design than he did to season 2?
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I never really like. I don't know. I watched it when I was younger and just didn't really like pay attention to seasons. So
Dude,
I just didn't pay attention to it.
I always loved the to be fair, it looks like. Was this the same? Hang on, let me look at the main character. Where's Schnitzel? Does Schnitzel look any different? No, Schnitzel always look the same. How did Chowder look? On 145, we cut down some trees, got some apples. You know how it goes. And there we go. I got my stack of apples on day 146. Good stuff. We needed 7 pieces of netherite to get our gear as good as it can be, and so it was time to go to the nether. You know how it is by now. We start digging in the nether. We find the netherite. In 10 days or so, we'll have full netherite armor and have all the good stuff to go. Well, that wasn't actually the case this time, because though we started this on day 147, it took us until day 170. That is 23 Minecraft days. That is over 3 hours of digging for us to get enough netherite to give myself full netherite, Austin full netherite, and netherite axes. It took us 23 days to do this. I don't understand why it took us so long. I don't. I've done this I've done it in 5 days before. The fact that it took us, oh my god, like out of all things I've done in Minecraft Manhunt, this has got to be the most tedious. Not gonna lie. And then when we did return on day 171, would you believe we didn't have enough gold to make the netherite either? I somehow blame Marvin for this one. We had to spend 172 going back into the caves just to get a little bit of gold. It wasn't a massive amount needed, but it was enough for us to get the gold. 173 was when we finished off cooking everything, achieved full netherite armor, and we were good to go. 174, we spent the day making a couple more potions just to max out our potion use. And then on 175, we still had a saddle, and we also had a golden horse armor, and Austin wanted a horse, and so we spent the time looking around for a horse. And we found that bad boy on day 177. This horse is probably going to get one-shotted, but if he's part of the winning team, you know, he's still a winner. And then on day 179, we had the horse, the armor, the potions, the tools. We had a very small pack. So why don't we just spend the next couple of days breeding? So you know how it goes. We go out and get some food, we give them to the dogs. We go out and get some food, we give them to the dogs. Basically, by the time it turned to day 192, we had finished breeding the dogs, and I'd say that we had a lot of them. Only a couple. Man, maybe I could have got some more. You know, it's fine. I'm pretty. The pack ultimate deserves to be called the pack ultimate. Because they are the pack ultimate. I realize that I'm going to have to edit in the sound every single time I say that, so Future Haven is going to really hate me. You know what? Hey, Future Haven. Pack Ultimate. Pack Ultimate. Pack Ultimate. Pack Ultimate. Probably want to kill myself right now. Anyway, once 192 came, we found a nice place to just sit and wait, and casually wait for our hunter friends to come by one more time to do the final 2v2 fight. So grab your snacks, your drink, put your headphones on, get ready, because by day 197, the wait was over, and here we go for the final fight of Minecraft Manhunt 200 days. They charged at us over the horizon with full netherite, and Marvin even had a horse. Using the splash potions that I had, I decided to splash not just myself, but also the dogs, because people always tell me to do that. Also, I don't know who recommended it, but the person who told me to use invisibility on the dogs, trust me, I will do that when I get the chance. My first goal was to eliminate Marvin's horse. If I can get rid of the horse, then suddenly this fight's going to be a lot easier. However, Chris decided to not let me take out the horse with ease, and does he not have a shield? My man had 60 days to prepare with all the potions and the netherite, but thought it was too much to get a shield? Kind of feel disrespectful, I'm not going to lie. Anyway, their master plan was to bring 100 lava buckets to take out all the dogs that we had. And admittedly, it kind of worked. The full netherite barrage of the pack ultimate was still causing them issues, but because of all the lava buckets that they had, they was actually able to take out a lot of the dogs pretty quickly. I was able to splash a few of them with fire resistance, but it was still taking out quite a lot of them. I'm sure they was very wary of their armor breaking just like it did in the final 100-day fight. And so they wanted to take out our dogs as soon as humanly possible. Anyway, after Marvin did get a few good hits on me, I decided it was the perfect time to eat my Uber apple. The best part about it is that I don't think he even noticed that I did it, because he was still fighting me like normal. As long as I keep charging him, eventually he will run out of spaces to run. Did my man's helmet just break again? The pack ultimate is carrying again. Anyways, you probably imagine when you don't have a netherite armor and you're fighting someone who has a sharpness 5 netherite axe, safe to say this wasn't going to end well for him. And Marvin goes down, and the final fight is already at 2v1. And to be honest with you, it was 2v1 because the pack ultimate was gone. So were Austin's dog. Hell, they served their cause better than most things did. And so, even though Future Haven's gonna hate me doing it, one more time, can we play the sound for the pack ultimate? Best dogs ever. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think Chris stood much of a chance against us. All he could do was run, gapple up, run some more. It was only a matter of time until this was over. I mean, literally, we're on day 197, 3 more days and we won anyway. We can end this charade. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that because Chris's helmet broke. Is that Marvin? Is that Marvin in half Netherite? Is that Chris back with a diamond helmet? Oh, we are back on for the final fight. Also, can we just give them credit for getting that much Netherite in the time it took us to get so little? And can we also talk about how they managed to get all that Netherite but couldn't afford 1 extra iron and 6 pieces of wood each? How do neither of them have shields? It's day 197. You are in the final fight. Make a shield! I don't know why I'm getting angsty about this. It really did give us the advantage. I also really shouldn't be making jokes because Marvin kind of destroyed me at one point. I dropped to half health, which was surprisingly scary. And then it started raining, which did actually cause a bit of an issue. The fire aspect sword and the flame bow was suddenly a lot less effective. At least I was able to break Chris's boots. And shortly afterwards, I was able to break his leggings as well. And I'm sure you can imagine with only half armor, whether it's Netherite or Diamond, this final fight with Chris did not last long. And we are back again, 2v1. Us versus Marvin. And yet again, I thought there's no way in the world that Marvin's going to be able to take us 2v1. I know he's a good PvP player, but oh, my helmet just broke. Oh, my helmet, this is bad. This is not a drill. This is bad. So a very quick reminder, because of the 2v2, if one of me or Austin die, then we lose. There's no coming back from that. And Marvin knew that as well, and he targeted me like crazy. And he was actually doing a huge amount of damage. And because of the constant pressure he put on me, he gave me legitimately no time to make new gear. So I just had to survive without a helmet. Luckily for me though, Austin was the best personal bodyguard I could have asked for. And when Marvin's helmet broke, we was able to put him down and it was over. Or was it? Okay, Chris, we've already done this joke. I'm not doing it again. Thanks for watching, everybody.